Christian, at Alpha FMC, you're advising clients on various operational challenges that they're facing from a day-to-day perspective. What's their main issue?
So investment managers are really looking at the front office that are really trying to innovate a lot more on new innovative products and bringing new things to market. So whether that's the blurring lines between public and private assets, new complex products going to market, what firms are really looking at is how do we start to consolidate front to back from an operating model perspective. So looking to reduce a lot of technical debt and try to embrace, the capabilities that a single provider could offer you, and trying to scale and standardize globally as well, especially as firms get a bit more global in the fight for AUM scale. So that's really where clients are focusing on. They've looked at operations historically as being a cost center and really looking to outsource problems to save costs and push some of that risk onto an outsource provider. However, I think what we're starting to see is a bit of a structural shift in terms of operations being more of a strategic differentiator rather than a cost-cutting initiative. Over time, firms are going to continue to outsource commoditized functions, leave that to service providers who have a broad network of investment managers that they can leverage and grow and partner with, but they're really going to start to build a bit more in-house, some of the more proprietary stuff as well. The biggest takeaways there are the consolidation front to back to reduce technical debt, the global standardization, and looking at their operating models more of a strategic differentiator rather than a cost-cutting.
Yeah. Stacey, are you seeing the same types of challenges when you talk with fund managers? What are their biggest operational or regulatory challenges that they're facing?
I think some of the biggest challenging that our fund managers are facing right now is just the requests from their investors for more transparency in their reporting. So kind of the old historic ways of manually going through processes have just led to errors in the work, more time to turn things around where
it's really tedious.
It's very tedious. So fund managers really need to invest in processes that they can automate it and scale it across multiple funds, different jurisdictions, so they can scale their products.
And when we're talking about scale, Christian, from your expertise, that target operating model, how important is that? Or what does that look like as these firms scale?
Yeah, and it's not this like one-size-fits-all model that every single firm can go to, right? So when we talk to our clients, it's really about what's your current state business? Where do you see yourself in the next 5 to 10 years from a strategic differentiation perspective? What types of products do you want to launch? Where do you see the business going? And then ultimately, right, we can work with them to design what their target operating model should be, and then different milestones they need to deliver upon to be able to get there, because especially what we're seeing from an innovation perspective, the market moves really quickly, technology moves really quickly, so you need to be flexible and agile to be able to maybe change course if you have to, but keep that strategic vision in mind. So we really try to partner with clients to define what their end state should look like rather than what the entire industry is doing. And that's where clients really value our expertise.
Yeah, I mean, AI is a huge role. All the funds, all the firms are investing in AI. It's definitely like the wave of the future. So managers can't be afraid to invest. That's the only way they're going to scale and be successful.
Like don't cut costs, which was to your point. You said you want to cut costs, but at the same time, what's the expense? Is that the right thing to do? And from a technology perspective, that may not be the answer.
That is true. So, I mean, a lot of fund managers will work with like third-party administrators, right? And a lot of the reporting would fall on them to, all the requests. It's more granular in nature, right? More fund administrators are getting more, diving into fielding those requests from whether it's a regulatory inquiries or investor inquiries. A lot of fund admins are investing in the technology that's forcing them to do that as well.
Apex Group is pioneering this future of finance, AI, tokenization, digital assets. It's a big theme that runs throughout our fund admin services. And to your point, Christian, I think you said digital assets is one of your focus at Alpha FMC.
Correct.
How important is that?
Yeah, I mean, we've seen a proliferation of institutional adoption in digital assets. So we partner with both traditional asset managers and crypto native fund managers on the topics of one, investing in crypto, but then two, tokenization, thinking about how you manufacture your new exposure or distribute that exposure to new segments and new channels. The traditional asset management community, partly due to regulatory, partly due to just the technology innovating really quickly and more firms getting into the network, have deployed a lot of AUM, quote unquote, on chain, bringing some of the traditional assets moving that on chain. So for us, yeah, we're partnering with clients to think through and really pounding the table to say, like, you need to define your strategy now. The technology's here. There's catalysts coming that you're going to have to be able to respond.
Or
And
you're going to be left behind.
right,
you're
and
missing out.
clients are going to be asking you, like, why aren't you doing this, or how are you thinking about this? So it's really about what types of products do they want to bring to market, what's the distribution angle to that, but then ultimately, how does the operating model need to be augmented to be able to support that? Because the last thing firms want to do is, oh, we're going to launch a digital asset investment capability, but then we're going to go look for 5 new service providers or 3 new investment management platforms to be able to deploy that, right? They want to be able to leverage their existing platforms as much as they can to be able to do that, right? So it's that a bit of like a holistic view across the asset management value chain. I think outsourcing providers and general service providers in this market are going to be one of the biggest beneficiaries of AI technology. Ultimately, what clients are looking for is better service and better results. So ultimately, the outsourced providers or the standard service providers in the market have a lot of the business expertise, just given the network of clients that they have. The ones that are able to deploy AI into the operating model or into their platform to be able to drive that hyper efficiency to deliver better client service are the ones that are really going to win. So I see it as a huge, huge opportunity for service providers.